and Consignment Exchange. For Consignment Exchange, well, they have new mattresses. I know many of you know them as a place for quality pre-owned furniture, which is true, but they also have new mattresses, and it's important to know that they are hundreds of dollars less than retail because they are name brands that are factory closeouts and discounted covers plus other factors. They don't advertise the brands, they sell them as is. For those reasons, you can buy a high-end name brand mattress and keep money in your pocket. You can go try one out today at McAllister's favorite furniture store, Consignment Exchange, at Highway 69 South. We'll go ahead and take a 60-second break. We'll be right back. You're listening to Lady Buff Softball on 98.3
accepts consignments on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. With 2 locations to choose from, we have close to 200 vehicles on the ground and coming in. And with vehicles starting at $29.95, we have something for everyone. And if you need parts or service, we are loading up at both locations to serve you better. Plus, with our mobile service van and our pickup and delivery, we can help you with sales and service no matter where you are. So come see us at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula and let us make it happen for you.
McAlester Clothing Consignment accepts consignments on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. All items must be gently used and in good shape. Please label all bags, boxes, or totes with the consignor's name. The limit on bags is 2 13-gallon bags per consignor per week. The consignment split is 50-50. Hey bargain shoppers, we have all types of clothing, toys, hand tools, jewelry, sports equipment, and more. McAlester Clothing Consignment, 1212 South Main in McAlester behind the Dollar General. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Sundays, 10 a.m.
Welcome back to Mike Deak Field. Out of that break now, teams both still in their dugouts currently, but I do think that we're going to have softball here in the Heartland pretty soon. Really quickly, just wanted to talk a little bit more about Glenpool, McAllister's opponent. This is a district game. Glenpool, they're coming in today at 2-6. They've lost 2 in a row. They've gotten a win over Kellyville. They also have a win over Shawnee. That Shawnee game was about 14 days ago. Yeah, 14 days on the dot. They grabbed that win. And then that Kellyville win was back about 5 days ago, 6 days ago, actually, I beg your pardon, last Friday. And they recently have fallen to Collinsville and Hominy. For McAllister so far, they've lost to Stigler, Collinsville, Bishop Kelly, Durant, Collinsville again, Tahlequah, and then Shawnee. They've got Glenpool today, and then they'll have Tahlequah at next week, along with going to Glenpool as well, and that'll be over on the 12th. They go to Stigler as well. They'll go to Shawnee, and then they'll come back, or actually they'll be at the NSU Festival in Tahlequah. They'll take on Sand Springs to start that later on in September, and then they'll end off September against Shakota, and then Ada will be the capper for the regular season. Now, both teams are going out. I think we're going to get the announcing of starting lineups really quickly, though. Nate, I'll throw it to you, my man. Before we get this started, we haven't seen every McAllister game so far. I think we've seen 3 of the 6. But from what we've just seen so far, what, in your opinion, do you think the Buffs need to do to come out with a win today?
Well, biggest thing I've noticed is they've got to get away from the big inning, giving up the big inning. We saw that. I mean, we weren't there for it, but we did see them. That kind of killed them in their last game. Yeah. And you got to avoid that. And while I've got the mic for a second, I just want to say a couple things. Sorry about the technical issues at the start just a second ago. And also, I do apologize. We are not going to have a second camera today because of the potential for rain. We don't have a way to cover that camera as of yet. But in the future, we will have that.
Yes, so that great camera view that we are able to bring you this year, not doing it today just because of the weather, which is what pushed us back an hour. So just while we do wish we could have it, some things are more important, and we want to be able to bring that for you guys, not just today, but as the season goes along as well. So I think that was the right choice to make. Let's go over to the Glenpool side of things real quick. They're going to have Grayson McGowan batting first. She'll be playing shortstop. Kaylee Kendrick will be in the center circle batting second. Cammie Coley will be batting third, playing in left field. Bella Bible batting fourth, playing in right. Corinna Goodvoice will be batting fifth, playing second base. McKinley Jackson will be batting sixth, playing in center field. Lydia Wells will be playing third base. She'll be batting seventh. Sophia Leeper will be batting eighth and playing first base. And then Emma Phillips will be the 9-hole and the catcher. A good opportunity, though, for McAllister to go ahead and grab their first win. They are going to be without the services of a couple of players that you used to have in the lineup, but we'll see how they bounce back today. It's just this is a young team. We've talked about it. They're going to have some kinks to work through, some dry spells, and I will say they already look better than what they did opening week when we were here for those couple of games.
Right. We've definitely seen them make some strides from those first few games. You just got to put it all together in one game.
So once again, they are announcing starting lineups, and I guess while we've got some time, Nate, let's go ahead and talk about McAlester Football, their first game tomorrow night. Obviously, we're not going to be on KNED for that game because of the OU game. We'll be over on K101, but the Broken Bow game, it's always a weird game, especially to start the season.
No matter how talented each team is, it is always it. I think there was an exception of 1 year where I called the game where it was around 30-0.
Yeah.
It's always a one-score game.
Yes.
Or a very small two-score game.
It's always a weird game. It's one of those rivalry games, especially on the non-district side. I'm looking forward to it, especially my first football game down here with you guys. But we're going to take a pause on this as the national anthem has just started, and we're going to let you guys take in the sounds. And if you're on the YouTube page, the sites as well.
Thank you. And now, to honor America, the brave women and men serving our country throughout the world, please join in the playing of the national anthem.
And there was the national anthem. Now we're not far away from first pitch coming here in McAlester as the Buffs have taken the field in Glenpool. They're going to go back to their dugout and send out their first batter into the on-deck circle, and we're going to get ready to get things started here. It is currently 92 degrees. I will say, though, stepping outside does not quite feel like 92 degrees, especially because of that wind and that cloud area that has come in from behind us here, from behind the booth. Dark-looking clouds and that breeze makes it a little bit cooler, and I know that we're in the booth. Doesn't really affect us that much, but I know the players outside are probably enjoying that a little bit.
Right, and if you're looking at the wind out there in center field,
it's going.
That could very easily carry a ball out of the park here.
And we've seen a couple carry out even without the wind, so certainly that could be a help today. Obviously, Casey Woods, the only Buffalo that has hit a home run so far this season, and she is batting fourth, so she'll be batting cleanup. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of opportunities she gets today. We also have Shiley Mason once again in the center circle. She is the starting pitcher for the Buffs, has been for every game so far, and she's shown improvements. There are some areas that maybe sometimes it just maybe falls into what we saw earlier in the season with just some of the free passes, but she also will go on streaks where I believe she retired 5 or 6 in a row in one of these games that we called, and had a couple of strikeouts in that sequence as well. So we know that she can bring it to the table at times. It's just a matter of, consistency with it.
Right.
So the Buffaloes throw the ball around, and we're just about ready to get things going. First pitch is going to be probably 6:13. Stepping in now is Grayson McGowan.
McAlester Softball and Volleyball is being sponsored by Consignment Exchange, and I've been doing commercials for them since I was 8 years old. Here's the connection. My great-grandfather and grandmother started the business over 50 years ago. Now my papa, Nana, and Aunt Cleora have continued. The idea was to give a place where folks could buy quality previously owned furniture, and now it's grown as a place where families who need to liquidate estates or simply have something they need to sell, Consignment Exchange is that place. At 9 years old, I came up with the tag of McAllister's favorite furniture store is Consignment, Highway 69 South, and it still is.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. With 2 locations to choose from, we have close to 200 vehicles on the ground and coming in. And with vehicles starting at $29.95, we have something for everyone. And if you need parts or service, we are loading up at both locations to serve you better. Plus, with our mobile service van and our pickup and delivery, we can help you with sales and service no matter where you are. So come see us at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula and let us make it happen for you.
McAlester Clothing Consignment accepts consignments on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. All items must be gently used and in good shape. Please label all bags, boxes, or totes with the consignor's name. The limit on bags is 2 13-gallon bags per consignor per week. The consignment split is 50-50. Hey bargain shoppers, we have all types of clothing, toys, hand tools, jewelry, sports equipment, and more. McAlester Clothing Consignment, 1212 South Main in McAlester behind the Dollar General. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Sundays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
McAlester Softball and Volleyball is being sponsored by Consignment Exchange, and I've been doing commercials for them since I was 8 years old. Here's the connection. My great-grandfather and grandmother started the business over 50 years ago. Now my papa, Nana, and Aunt Cleora have continued. The idea was to give a place where folks could buy quality previously owned furniture, and now it's grown as a place where families who need to liquidate estates or simply have something they need to sell, Consignment Exchange is that place. At 9 years old, I came up with the tag of McAllister's favorite furniture store is Consignment, Highway 69 South, and it still is.
Pitching and her off speed is, at times when she gets going, it's really tough for opposing batters. Here's the 1-1. It's upstairs, but Fulder had her swinging on it, and that is going to be another strike on the swing and a miss. It's 1-2. Mason now one strike away from ending this inning with a runner on third base for Glenpool. Here's the 1-2. That one's fouled backwards. Kind of looked like just jabbed at it that time, did Kendrick.
Yeah, it looked like she might have been fooled just trying to make some contact to keep this hat back or to keep this inning going.
Yeah, maybe she thought it was close enough to where she would have been rung up on a strike 3, so just threw the bat out there to make some contact and did her job. She lives to fight another pitch. And then a called strike 3 from Mason to Kendrick to end that inning. And McAlester, they do give up the 2 runs, but trail it just 2-1. And we're going to go ahead and head to the bottom half of the second inning. We'll be right back. Lady Buffs trail it here on 98.3 KNED.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. With 2 locations to choose from, we have close to 200 vehicles on the ground and coming in. And with vehicles starting at $29.95, we have something for everyone. And if you need parts or service, we are loading up at both locations to serve you better. Plus, with our mobile service van and our pickup and delivery, we can help you with sales and service no matter where you are. So come see us at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula and let us make it happen for you.
McAlester Clothing Consignment accepts consignments on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. All items must be gently used and in good shape. Please label all bags, boxes, or totes with the consignor's name. The limit on bags is 2 13-gallon bags per consignor per week. The consignment split is 50-50. Hey bargain shoppers, we have all types of clothing, toys, hand tools, jewelry, sports equipment, and more. McAlester Clothing Consignment, 1212 South Main in McAlester behind the Dollar General. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Sundays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Welcome back to Mike Deak Field here in McAlester. Bottom half of the second inning as the Lady Buffaloes softball team is trailing Glenpool here 2-1. McAlester, they did take an early lead in the bottom of the first. They went up 1-0, but then Glenpool firing right back with 2 runs of their own in the top of the second. And it's now 2-1, and that'll bring up Coral Coy. Coy had a multiple hit game earlier in the season. First pitch swinging, it's going to be a line out right to the first baseman and Sophie Leeper for Glenpool. So first pitch swinging and first pitch out. Just an unfortunate location for that ball to fly off the bat.
Got to hit it where they ain't. And
Yeah.
She was there.
It's just one of those things that feels like more often than not, McAlester is up against it when it comes to those kind of lucky bounces. It
Right,
just
and
seems like they don't get them as much.
Yeah, they're making good contact. It's just they're hitting it right at the 9 fielders.
Yep. So Shiley Mason, her first at bat of the game, a pitcher v pitcher matchup on the other side. First pitch to her is a fastball up and out of the zone, so it's 1-0. Mason, in the games that we called, did not grab a hit. So at least for us, she's looking for her first. Swing and a miss on the pitch in the zone. It's now 1-1. One out in the inning here as the Buffs down by 1. Another pitch to Mason. It's outside. But it's strike zone level, I will say, just in terms of height. Kaylee Kendrick, though, had some pretty good rotation on that pitch. So Mason will step back in, up 2-1 in the count. Ground ball hit right to the first baseman, but it eats her up a little bit, bounces off the chest. She'll toss it over, man, very hard to the second baseman who's coming over to cover for out number 2. Almost a disaster play for Glenpool and almost got McAlester a base runner here. And that technically has scored a 3-4 ground out to first base.
Yeah, I mean, first baseman fielded it, threw it over to second. Who was covering first?
So now Kelsey Rowell, her first at bat of the game. Called strike on a pitch that was not caught by the catcher, but in the zone. I'll tell you, Kendrick is pitching with some gas. I'll tell you that. Looks a little bit quicker than what they faced against Durant, but I still think that Stigler pitcher, one of the best ones they've seen, if not will see, all season long. Here's the 0-1, man. Rowell was fooled on an off-speed pitch in the dirt that time. A swing and a miss on a pitch that bounced and went to the backstop. So it's now 0-2 in the count. 2 outs against McAlester here. This is looking to be a very quick 3-up, 3-down inning offensively. Rao watches a pitch up and out of the zone. So 1-2, she does get a ball back here. We'll see if she chokes up, just trying to protect the plate. Does not get any signal, so I'd assume it's just a regular swing away here. Rao watches another pitch out of the zone. That one in the opposite batter's box. So 2-2 is the count. So 2-2, 2 outs here in the second. Rao swinging a miss at a pitch. No, they're going to say it was foul tipped. Thought maybe she missed because the catcher did not catch it. Then it would have been an opportunity to run it out at first base, but it was tipped as it was signaled by the home plate umpire. So live to fight another pitch. Still 2-2 here with 2 outs in the second inning. Rao, good eye on a pitch upstairs. We've seen that called a strike, though. Luckily, that one did not go against McAlester that time. So it's now worked full for Rao. Rao swings under a pitch, and that is a strikeout, and out number 3. 3-up, 3-down inning offensively for McAlester as they still trail it 2-1 as we now head to the top half of the third inning. We'll be right back. You're listening to Lady Buffalo Softball on 98.3 KNED.
McAlester Softball and Volleyball is being sponsored by Consignment Exchange, and I've been doing commercials for them since I was 8 years old. Here's the connection. My great-grandfather and grandmother started the business over 50 years ago. Now my papa, Nana, and Aunt Cleora have continued. The idea was to give a place where folks could buy quality previously owned furniture, and now it's grown as a place where families who need to liquidate estates or simply have something they need to sell, Consignment Exchange is that place. At 9 years old, I came up with the tag of McAllister's favorite furniture store is Consignment, Highway 69 South, and it still is.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. With 2 locations to choose from, we have close to 200 vehicles on the ground and coming in. And with vehicles starting at $29.95, we have something for everyone. And if you need parts or service, we are loading up at both locations to serve you better. Plus, with our mobile service van and our pickup and delivery, we can help you with sales and service no matter where you are. So come see us at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula and let us make it happen for you.
Welcome back to Mike Deak Field here in McAlester. Buffaloes trail at 2-1. They go back to the offensive side. First pitch swinging, and it's gloved by Casey Woods on a ball that was just ripped down the line to her. They're going to say she's safe at first base.
Okay, I know we don't have the best view for most shots, but that is a perfect shot.
Man, Casey Woods robbed of a web gem there. Just, I don't know what he thought he saw, and Holly Jernigan is very displeased with the call. Understandably so. Woods robbed of an absolutely great play that was just made at third base. A ground ball just hit extremely hard down the line. She gloved it, threw it over. Now, Rao did come off the bag to grab it.
She did come off the bag,
but it looked like she came down.
Her foot was back on the bag before the runner stepped on.
That's what it looked like to me. Nonetheless, though, it's a leadoff single for Cammie Cully. And she's now got 2 infield singles. First pitch swinging again. It's fouled off near the third base dugout to McAllister's side. They were not able to grab it. Man, just it really does. I don't want to harp on it too much, but it does. I mean, feels like McAllister got robbed a little bit there. But it's not about that. It's about how. It's just about how you get back from it. You don't want that to pile up on you this inning because it's still just a 1-run game.
Yeah, just forget about that and move on. It looks like we had maybe a hitter timeout to go speak with our third base coach.
And Mason came down to speak with Kirsten Smith behind the plate. So just figuring things out, but we're very quickly reset as Bella Bible, who flew out last time, she's back in with an 0-1 count against her. Squares the bunt and pulls back. It's a called strike. Runner will go. Throw is not in time. So 0-2 is the count. Runner on second base here after the steal by Cammie Cully. That pitch is hit up the middle, man, just unfortunate placement by Les now, and I think that's going to allow a run to score for Glenpool. It will. A bad throw into second base, but the runner does not advance. So Les now, who was going back over to her regular spot on the infield after holding the runner, or going back to the runner after being thrown, that ball was hit to that spot where she would have been. It was just very unfortunate with the way things were shuffling, and that's softball / baseball for you sometimes. Not really a lot you can do about it.
Stickball.
That's a better way. That's stickball for you sometimes. It just is. So now Glenpool takes a 3-1 lead. First pitch swinging again, dead center field. It's going to have to be grabbed off the hop by Caldwell. She'll throw it into third, which allows the runner to go to second base. So 3 straight hits to start this inning after McAlester did not get a call that was 50-50 to start things off. Say what you want, but it changes the complex of the way this inning has played out already.
All right, and it can change the psyche of a pitcher to see a call not go your way.
Exactly. Pitches a grounder here right to the pitcher. Mason turns to third. Runner stops. Throws it to first to get her out. A throw home. Not in time. Runner scores. That's a tough play for Mason. I really don't know what the right thing to do in that situation is. If we're being perfectly honest, she had a ground ball hit right to her. She turned to the runner on third, who stopped and kind of went back. Mason then turned to first base and threw the runner out at first. Rowell was not able to throw the ball home in time because after Mason threw it to first, the runner from third came home and scored. And that was Bella Bible. And I should say Corinna Goodvoice is standing on third right now. That's just a tough play. I think maybe you fake a throw to first and then turn back and see what she does, but you got an out. You're never going to hear me complaining about getting an out. A slow roll ground ball up the third baseline allows another run to score, but another out at first base. So again, it's hard to complain about an out, and I'm not going to. It's just another one of those tough situations. I don't know if Woods, even if she had fielded it as cleanly as you could have, I don't know if she would be able to get that out at home because it was such a slow roller up the line. And Goodvoice at third got such a good jump.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that play
at
all. You take the out there, move on.
First pitch swinging once again. That's just a reoccurring theme for players against McAlester. You see a lot of first pitch swinging.
Well, and especially here today with Glenpool, they've been aggressive not only on the base pass but at the plate, swinging at really anything close.
Mm-hmm. So now it's 0-1 with 2 outs. I think we're having just a ball swap out situation over here.
Yeah.
So McAlester now down 5-1 after having an early 1-0 lead. But there is 2 outs in the inning. Sophia Leeper up to bat, her second at bat of the game. She flew out in her last inning to center field. That second pitch is fouled backwards. It's now 0-2. That one goes out of the stadium. So Mason just 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning. Mason sets, deals. A pop-up down the first baseline. Rowell, man, just some miscommunication between Rowell and Addison Pennington at first and second, and that ball falls in for an infield single. I don't think that's scored as an error just because nobody made contact with it. I do believe that's how the rule book goes, but that'll just be scored as another hit. It's the 4th of the inning here for Glenpool.
And the inning continues.
5-1 is the score. Leeper on first base. That'll bring up Emma Phillips, the catcher, who was courtesy ran for last time. First pitch to her. First pitch swinging again. It's a hardly hit ground ball up the middle. It's another single. And Caldwell fills it, throws it into third base, which allows the runner to take second again. And Glenpool, I think they're just going to keep doing that as long as McAlester keeps making the throw over to third. So you've got runners on first and second again. There's another hit. That one only a single, even though the runner did go to second base.
And we have a courtesy runner again over at second.
And it's
Again.
Riley Hunter once
Yes.
again, I believe.
Yes.
Thank you.
I couldn't remember the name. I was going to get it if you did.
I'm not very good with remembering names, but for some reason, Riley Hunter stuck in my brain from the last time she ran. Which, I mean, I guess because it was just the last inning.
Right.
So now, back to the top of the lineup. Grayson McGowan. First pitch to her is a called strike. So it's 0-1. Runners in scoring position on second and third. 2 outs for McAlester trying to get out of the inning. Because right now, I mean, you're only down 4 runs. Man, that ball is absolutely torched. That's going to 1 bounce, 2 bounce, and hit the wall. 2 runs are going to score, and that's going to be a stand-up double for Grayson McGowan. Emma Phillips and Sophia Leeper come around, and I should correct myself. Leeper was actually, Phillips was pinch ran for, or courtesy ran for, by Riley Hunter. She came around to score. And it's now 7-1. First pitch now to Kendrick. It's a ball. Runner goes to third base.
Oh.
And they're going to throw her out on the base pass. Glenpool getting a little bit greedy. That was, I mean, I looked down for a second. McGowan tried to steal second to third after the pitch was being thrown back to the pitcher, and Mason just turned and threw it over to Woods, and she tagged her out. So that is how the inning will end. But Glenpool, they get 5 runs to make it 7-1. Before we take a break, I want to say we're being sponsored by Consignment Exchange. I've been doing commercials for them since I was a kid. My great-grandfather and grandmother started the business over 50 years ago. Now my Nana, Papa, and Aunt Cleora have continued it with the idea to give a place where folks could buy quality previously owned furniture, but it's now grown as a place where families who need to liquidate estates or simply have something they need to sell, well, they can go down to Consignment Exchange. At 9, I came up with the tag of McAllister's favorite furniture store is Consignment of Highway 69 South, and it still is. We'll take a 30-second break. We'll be right back. You're listening live on 98.3 KNED.
McAlester Clothing Consignment accepts consignments on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. All items must be gently used and in good shape. Please label all bags, boxes, or totes with the consignor's name. The limit on bags is 2 13-gallon bags per consignor per week. The consignment split is 50-50. Hey, bargain shoppers, we have all types of clothing, toys, hand tools, jewelry, sports equipment, and more. McAlester Clothing Consignment, 1212 South Main in McAlester behind the Dollar General. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Sundays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Welcome back to Mike Deak, I guess now multi-complex, as the softball team now plays here with that new turf. And Nate, maybe you could be more precise on this. How long ago was this turf put in? It'd have to be the last few years.
Well, I would say I did just recently move back.
That's fair.
full-time.
We both just moved back.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Very true.
But I feel like it's been here for the last couple years.
Yeah.
Because I did help a little with baseball.
Yeah. So, a couple years now. Again, so welcome back. Bottom of the third, McAlester trails at 7-1 against the Glenpool Warriors here. First pitch to the Lady Buffs is a ball. 1-0 here to Bailey Caldwell, her first at bat of the game. Second pitch, she hits one high out to center field, not extremely deep though. Grabbing it for out number 1 is McKinley Jackson to retire the first batter. We're now officially through the lineup once for McAlester. That'll bring up Avery Alberson, her second at bat of the game. She's walked already once today, and she's one of just 2 base runners for McAlester tonight.
I believe she's the one who came around to score in that first inning.
Yes, she was. First pitch swinging, just a tick behind it. 0-1 on the swing and the miss. I'm statting something real quick while I look down. Realize I didn't stat her getting thrown out last inning.
Next pitch was a low for ball 1. Counts 1-1 with 1 out here at Mike Deak Field.
Did a pretty good job, Nate. You sound like a natural.
I had to do this a couple times.
Yeah, just a little bit. So 1-1 is the count now to Alberson. That one is ripped. Might get down, and it will. Falls right in front of the center fielder, McKinley Jackson, and for McAlester. That is their first hit since the first inning. And Alberson is now on base twice today. A walk and now a single. That'll bring up Addison Pennington now. So Alberson, we'll see if she steals a bag here, as Glenpool put on a show of stealing bags earlier. First pitch swinging, it's hit right at the pitcher, but falls out of her glove. And Alberson trying to slide into second, not in time. So she's thrown out via the fielder's choice. That is out number 1. Pennington takes first once again via the fielder's choice.
That's out 2.
Or 2, excuse me, I beg your pardon. So Bailey Caldwell with the fly out, and then Alberson thrown out on the infield. Thanks to the fielder's choice, that just means that they could have gotten one or the other or tried to get both. They just went for one. So for Pennington, that officially is statted as an 0 for 1 at bat. Rylan Lesnow, first pitch swing, a slow ground ball to third base. Thrown over, man, it's not a good throw. Takes her off the bag, but she's able to tag Lesnow because of where she was at down the line, and that is a 3-up, 3-down inning for McAlester. Once again, we'll now head to the top of the 4th. Lady Buffs trail at 7-1. We'll be right back. You're listening to McAlester Softball on 98.3 KNED.
McAlester Softball and Volleyball is being sponsored by Consignment Exchange, and I've been doing commercials for them since I was 8 years old. Here's the connection. My great-grandfather and grandmother started the business over 50 years ago. Now my papa, Nana, and Aunt Cleora have continued. The idea was to give a place where folks could buy quality previously owned furniture, and now it's grown as a place where families who need to liquidate estates or simply have something they need to sell, Consignment Exchange is that place. At 9 years old, I came up with the tag of McAllister's favorite furniture store is Consignment, Highway 69 South, and it still is.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. With 2 locations to choose from, we have close to 200 vehicles on the ground and coming in. And with vehicles starting at $29.95, we have something for everyone. And if you need parts or service, we are loading up at both locations to serve you better. Plus, with our mobile service van and our pickup and delivery, we can help you with sales and service no matter where you are. So come see us at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula and let us make it happen for you.
Welcome back to Mike Deak Field. Lady Buffs trail it here on the top of the 4th, 7-1 against the Glenpool Lady Warriors. Shiley Mason still in that center circle here for McAlester. I do believe now that this is Kaylee Kendrick up to bat. Almost batting all the way around for Glenpool their last time up. First pitch from Mason was out of the zone. It's a ball 1. Kendrick so far today, she's 0 for 2. Believe she's the only Glenpool player to not reach base yet. She's flown out and struck out. The only strikeout for Mason so far. Pitches upstairs. It's called a ball. It was called a strike earlier. Now, that is a ball. But, again, just a little bit inconsistent behind the plate.
But, again, not the best view for us today.
No, yeah, not the best view. Here's a 2-0. Pitch is fouled off. Over near us. Not quite deep enough, though. So getting a strike back, it's 2-1 on the count. So for Glenpool, they didn't score in the first inning. McAlester did. They went up 1-0. And then the Warriors, they added 2 in the second, while McAlester goose-egged the bottom of the second. And then they added another 5 in the top of the third. And McAlester, as you heard, did not score in the bottom of the third. That pitch is hit over to the left field side on a bounce. That's going to be a leadoff single for Kendrick. She heard me talking about how she was the only Glenpool player without getting on base today. Now she has. So now Cammie Coley, she's up to bat. She has 2 infield singles, and I believe, weirdly enough, 3 infield singles for Glenpool so far. That's just not something you see a lot of, maybe more so in softball, though, than what you would in baseball, just with the base paths being much shorter.
Right.
It's much harder to turn to as well. So first pitch now to Cammie Coley, swinging a slow ground ball to short. Lesnow, just the ball was not hit hard enough to where she was at, and that's an infield single. Her 3rd infield single. They've all have been softly hit ground balls, but that one was just to a spot where, I mean, Lesnow, she really couldn't do much more than what she did.
Yeah.
She made the play. It's just, it was hit a direction that she had to run for, and she grabbed it right around where, I guess, what would be dirt, but it's turf. And at that point, about 3/4 down the line was Cully, so there's not even a play to be made. That pitch is outside. First one to Bella Bible, so it's 1-0. Man, these Glenpool runners, I'll tell you, they get massive leads after these pitches are thrown.
I mean, they're going to keep doing it until McAlester can make them pay for it.
We'll see if anything changes on that front. Here's the 1-0. It's bounced into the catcher. Runners are going to take second and third. That is a double steal. So 2 more stolen bags there for Glenpool. They've got 2 on with no out. McAlester, they're in dangerous territory of being, we're not there yet, and hopefully we avoid it. And a pitch is misplayed by the catcher, and that allows a run to score at home plate. So Kaylee Kendrick comes in to score. I don't know, do you score that a wild pitch? I mean, it got past the catcher, but I do think that was catchable. I just, on the scoring side, I wonder how that's scored.
I mean, probably.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not an official scorer, though.
Yeah, same.
That's not a call I want to make.
They don't pay us the big bucks to be an official scorer, you know?
Yeah.
The 3-0 now. It's a called strike to Bible. Getting back into the count now is Mason. 3-1. Runner on third base. You've only got one more to worry about as that other runner from third scored. But for McAlester, they're entering dangerous territory of being run ruled here. I believe it's 10 after 4. Man, that pitch is hit right at Les now. It's short. There's no play at home. Throws it to first, and it's thrown in the ground, and Rowell had to come off the bag to grab it, which allowed the runner at first to be safe and the runner from third to come around and score. It's now 9-1.
It's 10 after 5 in district play.
It's 10 after 5 in district play?
Yeah. And then out of district play, which does not apply here.
Yeah.
I believe it's either 8 after 5 or whatever the coaches decide before the game.
Yeah. I think we had, what was it, a 12 after 4 situation to start the season?
I think
it was something like that. But that also, that was not a district game.
Right.
That was against Stigler. Into bat now is Corinna Goodvoice. That pitch to her is a called strike. First pitch strike from Shiley Mason. Again, those are all huge pick-me-ups to start out up ahead in the count. McAlester still searching for their first win on the season. Mentioned they're starting 0-6. Very reminiscent to how they started last year. They started 0-6 last year, but they went on to win 4 of their next 6 games to get them to 4-8. And you would love a stretch like that right now. But for McAlester, they, coming into today, had not scored in 2 straight games. That pitch is hit out to the right center field side. Man, on the run, coming to make that play is Bailey Caldwell. That ball was hit very deep. I'll tell you, the outfielders have done a very good job today making plays.
And I'm surprised Glenpool wasn't tagging on that play. So the runner has to stay at first.
Yeah. So now McKinley Jackson will come up to bat. She's 1 for 2 with a single and a ground out. And finally, you get that first out here. Makes you feel a little bit better. Now all you need is one hardly hit ball up the middle for a ground ball for a double play. Kind of a running bunt there by Jackson. She missed it, so it's a called strike, 0-1. Here's Mason with the set and the delivery. Another kind of a drag bunt, lays it perfectly down the third base line. Woods throws it, but it's not in time. Pennington holding the ball, just kind of playing chicken with Glenpool, the runner at second base. That is Bella Bible. She goes back to second. But that was a beautiful bunt that time. You really can't coach that any better. Laid perfectly down the third base line, and if you're Woods, it's a tough play to make.
There's nothing you can do in that situation.
Lydia Wells now up to bat. She's 1 for 2. A single and a ground out to her name. Here's the pitch from Mason. First pitch swinging again, a ground ball right to Les now, and might have a triple play situation. No, we don't. That was, man, the runner had to go from second to third, but just stood there, so it was easy for the force out to be made at third base, which is exactly what Mason did. Threw it on over for the force and for out number 2, so Bella Bible is off.
I think the runner at second forgot there was a runner behind her.
Yeah, she just kind of just stood there, but it made things easier for McAlester to get that force out.
But also, great heads-up play by Les now, knowing that there's not a runner going to third.
Yeah.
Even though there should have been.
So Lydia Wells on base thanks to the fielder's choice. Swing and a miss, runner steals third, so runner on the corners now.
And they might be trying to set up a first-third play here.
We've seen that before, where the runner steals from first to second, kind of waits for a throw down so the runner from third can come in and score.
I mean, considering what we've seen from Glenpool today, that's definitely not out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah. They've not had a lot of corner base runner situations. We'll see what they elect to do here on the 0-1. Runner does go and no halts about a quarter of the way, and they will go now over to second, but Mason is just going to let her take second base. I think that's the right play to make.
That's exactly what I would have done in Mason's position.
Because essentially, you've got 2 strikes here. Neither of these runners on base matter if you deal with the runner or the batter at home plate. Here's the 0-2. That one is hit to dead center field. Caldwell comes in to make the play, and that'll end the inning. McAlester, though, does give up 2 more runs as they now trail at 9-1. We'll head to the bottom half of the 4th inning, and we'll be right back. You're listening to Lady Buffalo Softball right here on 98.3 KNED.
McAlester Clothing Consignment accepts consignments on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. All items must be gently used and in good shape. Please label all bags, boxes, or totes with the consignor's name. The limit on bags is 2 13-gallon bags per consignor per week. The consignment split is 50-50. Hey, bargain shoppers, we have all types of clothing, toys, hand tools, jewelry, sports equipment, and more. McAlester Clothing Consignment, 1212 South Main in McAlester behind the Dollar General. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Sundays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. With 2 locations to choose from, we have close to 200 vehicles on the ground and coming in. And with vehicles starting at $29.95, we have something for everyone. And if you need parts or service, we are loading up at both locations to serve you better. Plus, with our mobile service van and our pickup and delivery, we can help you with sales and service no matter where you are. So come see us at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula and let us make it happen for you.
Welcome back to Mike Deak Field as the Lady Buffs will try and get some runs back in the bottom of the 4th. They trail at 9-1 here against Glenpool. Nate, I know not a lot has gone McAllister's way this point, but what do you just want to see from them? What could be the final 2 innings here?
I just want to see them put some hits together, get some runners on, and then you really never know what could happen because you're not still technically out of striking distance in this game.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Especially in high school softball, anything can happen. First pitch swinging by Casey Woods. We know that she's got home run power, but that's just going to be a deep fly out to center field. So Woods, after starting off with a base hit back in the 1st, she's now 1 for 2. She's the first out of the inning. And that'll bring up Taylor Williams. She struck out her last time up. And that was, again, back in the 1st inning. Only 3 Buffaloes, 4 now 5, have batted twice here. Williams watches a pitch upstairs. First pitch to her. It's a called ball 1. So 1-0 to start it out. Here's the second pitch to Williams now. It's a little bit too low. So a good eye to start out with a hitter's count, 2-0. Williams is someone that we hadn't seen play a bunch previously, but we hadn't been there for the past couple of games, for some away games. She'll swing on that one. It's a slow roller to third base without even skipping a beat. Fluently fielded it and throwing it over for the out is Lydia Wells. I'll tell you, Glenpool, they just, on their infield at least, look to be a very well-coached team. They look like they know what they're going to be doing with the ball every single time. It's kind of impressive to watch so far.
And the outfield for Glenpool has made a lot of good plays.
They have, yeah. And that is not to say anything against McAlester. No. The outfield for the Buffaloes has played extremely well today. They've made a lot of really good plays, and Lesnow as well on the infield has made some nice plays. First pitch to Coral Coy is in the dirt.
No, really the main difference today is Glenpool is getting hits strung together. And
they're finding the open spots.
Yeah. That's really the only thing different today.
Yeah. It seems like McAlester, and we've talked about it, it just seems like they don't really get those bounces as much. It's just the way of the game sometimes. Coy, a slow ground ball up the middle, fielded by the second baseman, thrown over, and that's a quick 3-up, 3-down inning once again for the Lady Buffs. Their third in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 straight batters from McAlester have now been retired. We're going to go ahead and take another break. Before we do, it's going to be a 30-second break. I want to say we're being sponsored by Consignment Exchange. They were founded on the premise that new furniture was often out of reach of many families that were struggling to make ends meet. Well, that was over 40 years ago. That's not as much true today. They have helped literally thousands of folks over the years, young couples just getting started, parents sending kids to school, or folks just trying to stretch every dollar. Consignment has met the needs for all kinds of furniture and beds and so much more. Remember, McAllister's favorite furniture store is Consignment, Highway 69 South. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Lady Buffalo Softball on KNED.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. With 2 locations to choose from, we have close to 200 vehicles on the ground and coming in. And with vehicles starting at $29.95, we have something for everyone. And if you need parts or service, we are loading up at both locations to serve you better. Plus, with our mobile service van and our pickup and delivery, we can help you with sales and service no matter where you are. So come see us at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula and let us make it happen for you.
Welcome back to Mike Deak Field here, top half of the 5th. First pitch swinging for Glenpool leads to a single for Emma Phillips. And she's now gotten on base 3 times today. 2 singles, and she reached via an error. So she's officially 2 for 3. And we're now back to the top of the lineup for the Lady Warriors. Now, if Glenpool scores 2 more runs here in this inning and McAlester does not get one back, then the game will end here in the 5th. Just because of the district run rules, as Nate explained a couple innings ago.
And again, if you missed that, it is 10 after 5 here in district play.
So now first pitch, not swinging that time by Grayson McGowan, and it's a ball.
And just to be clear on that again, McAlester will get another chance to
Yes, here in the bottom of the 5th, yep. And then if Glenpool doesn't get any runs here, then we'll go on into the 6th. That pitch is swung on, hit to right center field. Coming in is Caldwell. She'll just carry over to make the play. Caldwell has been busy out there in center field. She's had to run a lot to her left and right to make plays, and she's done a good job today. Let me see how many she's caught. I can probably total that up real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She's had 5 fly balls hit to her, and she's made 5 outs on her own. So almost half of the outs here have been made by Caldwell out in the center field. That'll bring up Kaylee Kendrick, another pitcher v. pitcher matchup. She's 1 for 3 today. Slow ground ball right to Mason. She'll turn and throw it over to second base, but it's misplayed by Lesnow. Just not able to grab it. And I said that was on Lesnow. I think that was just underthrown, and she was not able to grab it. So an error on the fielder's choice leads to, we see Phillips taking second, and Kaylee Kendrick over at first. So now 2 runners on with 1 out. And just, it's stuff like that. It's the free passes that just demoralize you as a team at times. And it's hard to get back from that mentally.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying it's impossible or it won't happen. It's just tough to come back from. First pitch looked close, but a called ball just off the plate to Cami Coley, who is 3 for 3 today with 3 infield singles. That's not a stat line you see a lot of.
No, that's for sure.
Yeah. And those aren't bunts. Those are swinging singles. Here's the 1-0, and the dirt's now 2-0. These runners just getting a massive lead for Glenpool here. It's 9-1 in the top half of the 5th. Here's the 2-0. A little bit low. It's now a 3-0 count. Not something we've seen a lot of today just because we don't really get to the 3 pitches. You've seen a lot of first, second pitch swinging and balls being put in play.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if her pitch count's very high right now.
Yeah, it can't be that high. I doubt she's thrown 50 pitches. The 3-0 for some reason is swung on, and it's going to be a fly out. Not something you see a lot at the high school level or really any level is swinging on a 3-0 pitch, but it leads to a very soft pop out to short. So a little bit of a gift there from McAlester to grab out number 2. And again, if this inning ends with no runs scored, we will at least go to the 6th. That'll bring up Bella Bible here for Glenpool. Bible so far today, she's got a double and a single and a fly out. Bible tees one up and just kind of hits one weirdly off the bat, and it's a fly out over by the left field line by Rylan Less now, so we will play into the 6th. McAlester, they trail at 9-1. We're going to the bottom of the 5th now. We'll be right back. You're listening to Lady Buffalo Softball right here on 98.3 KNED.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom.
McAlester Clothing Consignment accepts consignments on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. All items must be gently used and in good shape. Please label all bags, boxes, or totes with the consignor's name. The limit on bags is 2 13-gallon bags per consignor per week. The consignment split is 50-50. Hey bargain shoppers, we have all types of clothing, toys, hand tools, jewelry, sports equipment, and more. McAlester Clothing Consignment, 1212 South Main in McAlester behind the Dollar General. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Sundays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. With 2 locations to choose from, we have close to 200 vehicles on the ground and coming in. And with vehicles starting at $29.95, we have something for everyone. And if you need parts or service, we are loading up at both locations to serve you better. Plus, with our mobile service van and our pickup and delivery, we can help you with sales and service no matter where you are. So come see us at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula and let us make it happen for you.
Welcome back here to Mike Deak Field, bottom half of the 5th inning. McAlester trails at 9-1, and it's been 10 straight outs for McAlester. 10 straight batters have been retired. Well, that's actually not even true. As I look back over to my score sheet, Addison Pennington, she got on via the fielder's choice back in the 3rd inning. So 5 straight retired, and I should say 9 of the last 11 for McAlester. Shiley Mason up to bat. First pitch to her from Kaylee Kendrick is in the dirt. And it's 1-0 to start this at bat. Buffalo's trailing at 9-1 here in the bottom half of the 5th. Trying to get some runs back. Mason, a ground ball. Man, right into the glove of the pitcher, and that's a ground out. Again, just another unfortunate bounce. It almost at times feels like someone's just playing a trick on us. It feels kind of like Bugs Bunny in Space Jam with the magnet underneath the golf course for Michael Jordan. You know what I'm talking about?
You're going to call me crazy for this. I've never seen Space Jam.
You've never seen? Well, Nate, I implore you to watch Space Jam.
I promise you that's not the worst movie I haven't seen.
It's all right. I've not seen that movie in years, but we have a pinch hitter as well, Jordan Washington. Swing and a miss for her first pitch that she saw. But there's a scene where Bugs Bunny is underneath the golf course for Michael Jordan, and he's moving his ball around with the magnet.
Uh-huh.
And it feels like almost the softball gods. That pitch, by the way, is out of the zone. It's 1-1 now. Kind of just moving it to wherever there's a defender every time McAlester makes connection with the ball. It's just unfortunate bounces. Here's the 1-1 to Washington. A ground ball to third. Man, it's a nice grab over there. Falling down just about by Lydia Wells to throw it over. My goodness. Another good play by a corner infielder for the Warriors. They have just looked stellar on the defensive side today.
I mean, there's not much more you can do for McAlester.
And if you're Kaylee Kendrick, I mean, you might owe your infielders a steak dinner after this with the way that the way they've played behind you today. So now that'll bring up Bailey Caldwell, her second at-bat of the day. She watches a pitch that was borderline, but a called ball. Caldwell, she is 0 for 1 with a flyout today. And we're going to have a conversation at the mound. Well, the center circle. That takes some getting used to. This is my first year calling softball. Called plenty of baseball.
Right.
Which is where all my vernacular is fit to. Towing the slab, I guess that still works for softball. But, the pitcher's mound, the bump, stuff like that, there's no bump here. There's no pitcher's mound. It's just a center circle with the rubber.
Right.
So I just thank you guys for tuning in with us every time that you have been. Hope your Thursday night is going well. Hope the rest of your week is as well. We'll obviously have McAlester football tomorrow night. We won't be right here on KNED because of Oklahoma football. That game will kick off at 6. Pregame, I believe, is that a 2-hour pregame?
Our pregame?
Or the McAlester pregame? No, not the McAlester. I'm sorry, the OU pregame.
OU pregame moved to 3 hours.
So 3. There you go. I heard Wyatt in the background telling me that. Appreciate you, Wyatt. Wyatt is the reason you guys hear all the commercials and everything. Just want to give him a shout out. So first pitch swinging for Caldwell, swing and a miss. I just like to give credit where it's due. Obviously, you guys wouldn't get this great shot to be able to watch this other than just radio if it wasn't for my man Nate over here. And we don't have the second camera tonight, but that's due to just weather strictly, which is why it was like that.
I mean,
it's 2-1.
Seeing how it's turned out today, now.
Weather's unpredictable. We thought it was coming this way. Yeah.
Especially here in Oklahoma.
It was moving north, but then I think it kicked more. Was it more west? I think it was more west it kicked.
I think so.
The 2-1, Caldwell, swing and a miss. It's 2-2 now. But don't you guys fret. The camera will be back. And as Nate already mentioned, it'll be there for baseball as well.
And I can't wait to see what you guys or what we have in football.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. The 2-2 swung on and missed by Caldwell. That'll end the inning, and that's another 3-up, 3-down inning for McAlester. We'll now head over to the top of the 6th inning. Lady Buffs trail it 9-1. We'll be right back. You're listening to Lady Buffalo Softball on 98.3 KNED.
McAlester Softball and Volleyball is being sponsored by Consignment Exchange, and I've been doing commercials for them since I was 8 years old. Here's the connection. My great-grandfather and grandmother started the business over 50 years ago. Now my papa, Nana, and Aunt Cleora have continued. The idea was to give a place where folks could buy quality previously owned furniture, and now it's grown as a place where families who need to liquidate estates or simply have something they need to sell, Consignment Exchange is that place. At 9 years old, I came up with the tag of McAllister's favorite furniture store is Consignment, Highway 69 South, and it still is.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. With 2 locations to choose from, we have close to 200 vehicles on the ground and coming in. And with vehicles starting at $29.95, we have something for everyone. And if you need parts or service, we are loading up at both locations to serve you better. Plus, with our mobile service van and our pickup and delivery, we can help you with sales and service no matter where you are. So come see us at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula and let us make it happen for you.
Welcome back to Mike Deak Field here in the top half of the 6th inning. Lady Buffs trail at 9-1 in the top of the 6th, and I think we're getting a pinch hitter here for Corinna Goodvoice. They've got number 9 coming in, which is Cameron Shedd. So Cameron Shedd will come in to finish things off at the plate over Corinna Goodvoice. Let me go ahead and write that down. Still have Shiley Mason in the center circle. First pitch to Shedd. Out of the zone. Height-wise, though, I think that's a good place to be if you're Mason.
Right.
Just a little bit out of the zone. It's 1-0 here. 89 degrees. That wind has died a little bit, Nate. Not quite as much as we saw. The off-speed pitch. Full Shedd that time. A swing and a miss. College football is back tonight as well. I know Colorado and North Dakota State are playing right now. I saw the Buffaloes scored over the, I guess it's Buffaloes and the Bison. Colorado scored, so it's 7-3 right now. Swing and a miss once again. It's now 1-2. Some other games going on as well tonight. I know Missouri plays tonight. There's a couple of other ranked teams, but just for the life of me, it's slipping my mind who all plays tonight. Those are the 2 I know for sure. Utah as well. And a strikeout. 2 swing and misses for Shiley Mason to grab the strikeout, her second of the game and first since the 2nd inning.
After the at-bat for number 9, Cameron Shedd.
Looks like Western Carolina and North Carolina State. Western Carolina is up 14-7 over North Carolina State.
Didn't North Carolina State play in their conference championship game last year?
Yeah, and they are
where are they ranked?
They're ranked 24 right now.
That might change.
That very well might change if that score holds.
Another pinch hitter as well here for Glenpool. After a called strike for Shiley Mason. This is, it's hard to read that handwriting. I believe it's Air Bentley, looks like. Looks like Air Bentley. So she loads up, hits a little blooper over the shortstop's head for Rylan Lesnow. She'll grab it, but that is a base hit. So Air Bentley gets on for her first time today. We'll see if now we just get reserves from Glenpool from here on out. And I think we are. We've got another pinch hitter. This time pinch hitting for Lydia Wells. North Dakota State just took a lead once again. A touchdown for them. So after the PAT, it'll be 10-7. So this is Shyla Tepiel, I think. So Tepiel hits one to dead center field. It's a mile high, and it's a fly out. For out number 2. So a runner still on first base, and now if they don't score 2 runs here, we will again extend into the next inning.
We'll go the full 7.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to end up happening. We've got another pinch hitter here. Sophia Leeper is now being pinch hit for Riley Hunter, who has been courtesy running all night for Emma Phillips. First pitch to her. Upstairs out of the zone. It's 1-0 here. 2 outs, though. This is the quickest, 2 now innings in a row. McAlester has gotten 2 of the first 3 batters out. That pitch is fouled backwards on the 1-0. It's now 1-1. Mason kind of just settling in a little bit more, finding her groove. Last 2 innings. So far, just the 1 hit given up. So finding it a little bit as the game goes along. Here's the 1-1. That one is ripped right up the middle. That's going to be a base hit. The runner is going to stop at second base, so we've got runners on first and second. So Air Benelli moves over to second.
Looked like they had the hit and run on there.
I think you're correct. So Riley Hunter now is at first, and we've got another pinch hitter. It looks like
number 34 for Glenpool.
I don't have a 34 on here. I assume it's Hannah Lawrence, who they wrote number 35 next to, even though Kim Holy wears 35. So that has to be Hannah Lawrence.
Yeah, and that might be what the...
Yeah. So Hannah Lawrence up now to pinch hit for Emma Phillips. Long conversation with her coach at the third baseline.
34, Hannah Lawrence.
Yeah, and that's what the PA just announced is Hannah Lawrence.
So Hannah Lawrence is in. It was just a miss right on the lineup sheet. So runner in scoring position. 2 outs here for Glenpool, I should say.
Now, doing something like that in the major leagues, that can cost you.
Yes, it most definitely can.
I believe it'll cost you like an automatic out.
I think so, yeah. I think that's right. I'd have to check, but that sounds correct. Swinging at a pitch in the dirt. McAlester gets a strike back. It's 1-1.
Because you don't see it very often, but I have seen it happen.
Yeah, it's just not something you see happen a lot. You are correct about that. That's why it's always a little confusing when it happens, but I do think you're right, though. The 1-1, it's popped up on the infield. Lesnow is going to call off and make the play, and we're going to head to the bottom of the 6th. After another scoreless inning, McAlester, they trail it 9-1. We'll be right back. You're listening to Lady Buffalo Softball on 98.3 KNED.
McAlester Softball and Volleyball is being sponsored by Consignment Exchange, and I've been doing commercials for them since I was 8 years old. Here's the connection. My great-grandfather and grandmother started the business over 50 years ago. Now my papa, Nana, and Aunt Cleora have continued. The idea was to give a place where folks could buy quality previously owned furniture, and now it's grown as a place where families who need to liquidate estates or simply have something they need to sell, Consignment Exchange is that place. At 9 years old, I came up with the tag of McAllister's favorite furniture store is Consignment, Highway 69 South, and it still is.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. With 2 locations to choose from, we have close to 200 vehicles on the ground and coming in. And with vehicles starting at $29.95, we have something for everyone. And if you need parts or service, we are loading up at both locations to serve you better. Plus, with our mobile service van and our pickup and delivery, we can help you with sales and service no matter where you are. So come see us at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula and let us make it happen for you.
Welcome back to Mike Deak Field here, bottom half, I beg your pardon, of the 6th inning as McAlester trails it 9-1. Avery Alberson up to bat, her first pitch, swing and a miss. It's now 0-1 to start this out. For Alberson, she is 1 for 1 today with a single and a walk. Still facing up against Kaylee Kendrick. Hits that one to a mitt at shortstop. Grayson McGowan leaping over behind second base, grabs what would have been a leadoff single for Alberson. So if that's her last hit today, she's going to finish 1 for 2 and got on base twice. Not a bad day at the office.
And that's just the kind of day it's been for McAlester.
You're exactly right. It feels like that's kind of the season they've had as well. Every time that feels like they've got something that could work out, it's just an opposing player makes a spectacular play. First pitch swinging for Addison Pennington on a pitch that was just, man, had some gas on it. It's fouled backwards. Again, want to thank you for those of you that are spending your Thursday evening with us, whether you're listening on 98.3 KNED or listening on our app or watching on the YouTube page. A pitch to Pennington is over her head. It's now 1-1. Reminder, we will be back again tomorrow with football, and that one will be on K101 or 101.3. Here's the 1-1 now to Pennington. That one is skied on the infield. It's going to carry a little bit deep enough for the center fielder to come in and make the play. That's McKinley Jackson. And that's very quick, 2 up, 2 down. And 9 straight retired now against the Lady Buffs.
Now,
offense is, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, this may go the full 7, but it may be shorter than a shortened game.
You are correct. We've only been going for about an hour 20.
Yeah.
So this has been a very quick game. McAlester, just as that kind of segues me into the point I was about to say, just offense has been so tough to come by. This has been the best defense I've seen them play against this year.
Right.
Which is weird because it's not indicative to the 2-6 record that Glenpool has. And I will say first pitch now was a called strike to Rylan Lesnow. She watches a pitch in the dirt. It's now 1-1 with 2 outs. This could be, actually no, I beg your pardon, that is not correct. They will get one more time to bat, McAlester will. Here's the 1-1. Lesnow tried to duck a little bit to try and move the strike zone, but it was still called a strike. So it's 1-2 now with 2 outs. Lesnow trying to extend the inning and tried to avoid another 1-2-3 sit-down inning for McAlester offensively. Here's the 1-2. Pitch in the dirt, good eye. It's worked even now. It's 2-2 with 2 outs. McAlester, they trail it 9-1. Funnily enough, though, they actually led at one point in this game. They scored in the bottom of the first, but it's been a bunch of goose eggs since. Lesnow watches a pitch outside. It's worked full. 3-2 is the count now. Payoff pitching coming from Kaylee Kendrick, who has just been stellar on the mound today, as has her defense behind her. The payoff pitch, Lesnow rips it to center. It's going to carry, and it's going to fall and bounce over the wall. That's a ground rule double for Rylan Lesnow. Her second ground rule double of the season. So finally, some offense for McAlester comes via the youngster.
The double by Lesnow will bring up number 29, Casey Woods.
So now Casey Woods, this is a pretty good 3-4 punch here for McAlester as Woods has home run power, or as you could say, light tower power. She's already got 1 home run knocked to her name this season. Rips that one out. First pitch swinging deep center field, and it's over the head. It's going to bounce off the wall, and that is going to be a double with an RBI as she slides in safely. So back-to-back doubles for the Lady Buffs as they get a run back here.
Casey Woods with the outside double. And that will bring the Lady Buffs.
I think they're really starting to see her here.
Yeah, I agree with you as well. Kendrick had been stellar today, but when it's not a softly hit ground ball to one of your infielders, it's much tougher to play. And McAllister's 2 best hitters just absolutely ripped those balls nearly the same spot. And it's now 9-2. First pitch swinging is Taylor Williams, and that is a miss. So 0-1 now with 2 outs. But man, got the juices flowing again.
Yeah, for sure.
Got some excitement up here in the booth as well as on the dugout for McAlester. In the dugout, I should say. The 0-1 just inside. It's now 1-1. Nice eye by Williams. Casey Woods at second. I wonder if we'll see an attempted steal. I don't think McAlester has stolen a bag today.
I don't believe so.
So here's the 1-1 with 2 outs from Kendrick. Just outside. It's 2-1. So getting to Kendrick a little bit, she will have to throw at least one more time if they don't sub anyone out here at the center circle, either in this inning or the next half inning. Here's the 2-1. Called strike on a pitch. Looked a little bit up. Williams seemed to disagree with it. So 2-2 now with 2 outs. Gotta really protect here. Choke up on the bat a little bit. Here's the delivery from Kendrick. Man, that's just nubbed right over the first baseman's head. Kind of a humpback liner, and I think another run is going to come around and score. An RBI single for Taylor Williams, her first of the season.
Williams drawing another run.
So 3 straight hits for McAlester here. A double, and then a ground rule double, and then another double, and now a single. And it's 9-3. And as crazy as it sounds, Nate, is what I'm going to say, 6 runs is not a huge differential.
No, that is something you can come back from.
Yeah, and it looks like they're seeing her a little bit better now, and that is a hit that Glenpool, that's something that Glenpool I feel like would have gotten earlier in this game. Just one of those where it's not hit super hard, it just found the open spot on the field, and for McAlester finally getting some rolls to go their way.
Mm-hmm.
And now Coral Coy will step up. She's the 6 hole. She's 0 for 3 today, trying to be the first, or trying to get her first hit on the day. She does have a multi-hit game already this season. So 2 outs, Coral Coy up. First pitch to her, swinging. It's a ground ball to the third base side. And my goodness, grabbed once again and thrown over on the run to end the inning. But McAlester, they get 2 back as it's now 9-3. We're going to head to the top half of the 7th inning. Before we do, though, want to say Consignment Exchange. They have new mattresses, although you may know them as a place for quality pre-owned furniture, which is true, but also the new mattresses. And it's important that you know that they are 100 or hundreds of dollars less than retail because they are name brands that are factory closeouts and discontinued covers, plus other factors. They don't advertise the brands and they sell them as is. For those reasons, you can buy a high-end name brand mattress, and keep money in your pocket. Go try one out today at McAllister's favorite furniture store, Consignment Highway 69 South. We'll be back in 30 seconds on KNED.
McAlester Clothing Consignment accepts consignments on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. All items must be gently used and in good shape. Please label all bags, boxes, or totes with the consignor's name. The limit on bags is 2 13-gallon bags per consignor per week. The consignment split is 50-50. Hey bargain shoppers, we have all types of clothing, toys, hand tools, jewelry, sports equipment, and more. McAlester Clothing Consignment, 1212 South Main in McAlester behind the Dollar General. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Sundays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Welcome back now to Mike Deak, top half of the 7th inning now. We've got another pinch hitter for Glenpool. Swing and a miss on the first pitch. She is pinch hitting for Grayson McGowan. Let me see if I can pull this roster back up real quick. This is Jada Tennille, one of the two. I apologize if I got that wrong. Swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt. So Glenpool, it looks like they have just completely thrown in their JV lineup on the offensive side, which I can understand with the lead that you had, but also there's going to be a JV game right afterwards unless there's something I don't know about.
I mean, it's possible with the delay there might not be.
There might not be, yeah, because you lost an hour. The 0-2, man, just out of the zone. Not a bad spot to be, though. So the count moves to 1-2. Again, this is Jada Tennille coming in to pinch hit for Grayson McGowan. Her day ends at a 2-for-4 clip offensively. Pitch is a little bit low. It's now 2-2. Nice eye by Tennille. And that wind has just all about died out there. It's now under 90 degrees. And you're going to be saying that for the next week and a half, if not longer. That pitch has fouled off the end of the bat. It'll stay at 2-2. Some rain possibly coming over the next 3 days as well, but the highest high we have starting tomorrow all the way into not this weekend Saturday, but the Saturday after that, I believe the high of all those days is 89.
It's going to be fantastic.
I am 100% with you. It sounds fantastic. That pitch once again fouled off the end of the bat. It'll stay at 2-2. And now once we hit Monday, the lows for all of those days are all in the 60s. Now that could change.
Right.
And weather changes a lot. Because I think when I looked at this the other day, this upcoming Monday was supposed to be a 79-degree high.
Yeah.
And it's now moved up to 86. So that'll just be something to watch. But cooler weather is coming, folks. The 2-2 swinging at a pitch in the dirt. Almost taking up some turf with her, but fouls it off. To Neal, though, I'll tell you, she is just dead set on getting on base via the base hit. And Mason, she's trying to make her swing at pitches out of the zone, which is what she's doing, but she's making contact with all of them. Here's the 2-2. Pitch out of the zone. Does hold up that time, and it's a called ball, so it's now 3-2. So Shiley Mason trying to avoid the leadoff walk. Here's the payoff pitch. That one is ripped on the ground. It gets right past Les now. It's short and rolls into the outfield. That's a leadoff single for Tenile. Her first hit of the game on her first plate appearance.
It's going to bring up the pitcher, number 1 for Glenpool.
So, I guess, kind of going against the grain here, not pinch hitting as they have for their last 6 batters. Kendrick, I assume this means she's going to finish the game out on the in the center circle.
Even if they did pinch hit for her, she could re-enter.
That is true. And she rips that one on the second pitch to left field off one bounce.
That might be why.
Yeah. And they've got 2 on now. McAlester have done a good job of quick innings the last 2 half innings defensively in the top of the 5th and the 6th. They've given up no runs, but now Glenpool with no outs, they've got 2 runners on. And that'll bring up Cammie Coley, who's back into the game. Yeah, it looks like all the varsity players have re-entered here. A weird strategy, but...
I mean, if it works, it works.
It works, yeah. First pitch swinging softly hit off the inside of the bat. It's a slow roller to Mason. She just tosses it over to third base for the force out for out number 1. So now Cammie Coley moves to first on a fielder's choice. And that'll bring up Bella Bible, who is not being pinch hit for. She was not pinch hit for last time. It started at the 5 hole. They pinch hitted 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, which I guess you could say courtesy hit since one of them has already re-entered.
Right.
First pitch to her is a called strike. Nice location from Mason. It's 0-1 with 1 out. You've got 2 runners on, 1 on first and second. And you avoid the bases loaded jam after getting the force out at third base on the ground ball. That pitch is hit high on the foul side of the infield over towards the third base dugout. And it falls harmlessly to the ground, but that does equate to a strike. So it's 0-2, so I don't know if harmlessly is the word there. She does lose a strike. It's 0-2 with 1 out. Trying to get the second here, just trying to close this out quickly so McAlester can get another opportunity to score some runs, down by 6. Once again, it's 9-3 here in the top half of the 7th as the Lady Buffs are playing host to the Glenpool Warriors. In the dirt, it's now 1-2. And Mason, she's got some pitches to work with here. That's what happens once you go up 0-2 in a count as a pitcher. You can throw some balls just to see if you can get the Lady Warriors or just the opposing team swinging at it, something out of the zone. We'll see what she goes with here on the 1-2 count. The delivery. It's hit a liner that bounces once over to second base and thrown to first for the out. Addison Pennington fields it off 1 hop to get the out. It's the second of the inning. That's a 4-3 ground out. And that will now bring up, should be Cameron Shedd, but who pinch hit last time? No, it looks like Corinna Goodvoice is back in. So just courtesy hit that bottom half of their lineup the last time they went up. Yeah, they were all just courtesy hit for, essentially. First pitch swinging. It's a pop-up on the infield. Mason wants it and grabs it. It looks like McAlester defensively is going to end it with 3 straight goose eggs against Glenpool, but now they'll get a chance to get some more runs back. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th as it's 9-3. You're listening to Lady Buffalo Softball on KNED.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. With 2 locations to choose from, we have close to 200 vehicles on the ground and coming in. And with vehicles starting at $29.95, we have something for everyone. And if you need parts or service, we are loading up at both locations to serve you better. Plus, with our mobile service van and our pickup and delivery, we can help you with sales and service no matter where you are. So come see us at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula and let us make it happen for you.
McAlester Softball and Volleyball is being sponsored by Consignment Exchange, and I've been doing commercials for them since I was 8 years old. Here's the connection. My great-grandfather and grandmother started the business over 50 years ago. Now my papa, Nana, and Aunt Cleora have continued. The idea was to give a place where folks could buy quality previously owned furniture, and now it's grown as a place where families who need to liquidate estates or simply have something they need to sell, Consignment Exchange is that place. At 9 years old, I came up with the tag of McAllister's favorite furniture store is Consignment, Highway 69 South, and it still is.
Welcome back to Mike Deak Field here now, the bottom half of the 7th inning as the Lady Buffaloes trail Glenpool 9-3. Going to try and get some runs back after defensively putting up a very solid final 3 frames as they did not give up any runs to Glenpool in the top half of the 5th, 6th, or the 7th inning. And Nate, once again, it all comes down to 1 inning. And this time it was the 3rd where they gave up that 5 spot.
Right now, without that 5th inning, as there's a ground ball over to third base, and looks like the play will be made for the first out.
But we've seen it a bunch of times where it's just been 1 inning that has killed McAlester.
Right, and without that 5th inning, it's a 4-3 ball game.
Yeah, it's a 1-run game here going into the 7th. So it's just one of those things. Again, it's a young team. I would like to remind you guys of that. This is a very young team. You're going to see stuff like this with a young team. Just give it a while. You know, they're already coming into it a little bit more. I mean, they lost one of the first games, 19-4, and now they're in these games a lot more. It's only a 6-run game here. It's just you take the baby steps and you take the small wins when you get them. Kelsey Rowell up to bat. The first pitch to her is a swing and a miss for strike 1. So just with all that being said, the Lady Buffs, they're playing better than what they were when we saw them in Game 1 of the season. And again, they're without a couple starters today. Rowell swing and misses on a pitch. It's now 0-2. But you just have to admire the fight that these guys show. It's so easy to get down and just call it quits when it's 9-1 after, the 3rd or the 4th inning. Nice eye that time from Rowell. And they've taken some, tough losses on the player side of things this season, but for people that haven't been in these kind of situations, it's so easy to get down and get discouraged. But it's admirable to see these ladies fight the way they have in this game. The pitch to Rowell is upstairs and out of the zone. It gets past the catcher. So it's 2-2 for Rowell so far today. A strikeout and a ground out. And that ground out was to third base. Rowell is trying to be the first hit of the 7th inning. Pitch out of the zone. It's now 3-2.
Worked it all the way back.
Got a payoff pitch incoming. Got Kaylee Kendrick. Looks like she's going to be getting the full 7 innings next to her name here in the stat sheet. The payoff pitch out of the zone. It's a walk. Man, I think that's the first walk McAlester has gotten since the very first batter of the game.
I think you might be right.
Avery Alberson walked to lead things off back in the top of the 1st inning. And now Kelsey Rowell with the second walk since. And it's coming here in the 7th with 1 out. Bailey Caldwell back up to bat. First pitch to her is high and outside. Good eye. It's 1-0 here. And if you're McAlester, obviously you would love to win here. But I don't think you need to do that to feel better about, how this game went. If you can get a couple of good at-bats, maybe at least get a run or two and feel good about that, the way the game ends, I think that's a win.
Yeah, I mean, if you can put even maybe 1 or 2 more runs up on the board, you're feeling a lot better about this game than you would have.
I agree. So we'll see Holly Jernigan's having a conversation with Caldwell after the pitcher's mound conversation or the pitcher's circle conversation for Glenpool. That's a weird kind of technicality that I've got to get used to.
That's all right.
I appreciate your grace. I will say we've got a beautiful look here out, though, to the sky from where we're at. The 1-0 is a 1-1 count on a ball that looked out of the zone. But it's all evened up now with 1 out, runner on first base. But just a beautiful view from the press box up here. Just looking out towards North McAlester.
You can see the water tower out there, the Masonic Temple.
Yep. That 1-1's out of the zone. It's 2-1 now. Trying to throw down to first to Rao, but she slides back with plenty of time.
And ball was dropped anyway.
Yeah. So now we're just only officially at like an hour 40 of game time, and we're already in the bottom of the 7th. A swing and a miss on the 2-1 from Caldwell. It's now 2-2. So this game has moved fairly quickly. And I wonder if we're still going to get a JV game. We'll see. Here's the 2-2 to Caldwell. Swing and a miss, and that's a strikeout. Her second of the game. And that is the second out of the inning. Avery Alberson is the last line offensively for McAlester to extend this one. If not, they will fall to 0-7 on the season. I mentioned, though, McAlester last year, they started off sluggish. They started off 0-6, but then ripped off 4 wins in their next 6 games, and that pitch rips off the catcher's mitt. And that allows Rowell to take second base. I don't know if I've seen that. So Emma Phillips behind home plate tried to catch a pitch out of the zone, and the ball, the momentum of it, ripped her glove off of her hand.
Huh.
Don't know if I've ever seen that before. Here's the 1-0. Alberson just a tick behind it. It's 1-1. Now, we've seen this with Alberson. She's had a swing and a miss in every at-bat so far, but then I think that's all she needs to see, because each time she's been able to figure out her timing, she already has a base hit, and she's gotten on thanks to a walk. And she fouls that one off. See, that timing's already a little bit better. She swung and missed on a pitch that she was very late on. That one, much quicker, still a little bit behind, but made contact with, and now if she gets another hittable one, I'd venture to say it's going to be in play. Whether it's a base hit, ground ball, what have you. So here's the 1-2 to her. Just out of the zone. It's 2-2. Nice eye by Alberson. Down to her final strike. And McAllister's final strike, trying to get it along. Anything through the infield, you might be scoring a run here. Here's the 2-2. Alberson fouls another one off. So this is exactly how she started the game. Fouled off a couple of pitches. And she ended up taking a walk. And while she did walk, it was not a 5-pitch walk. She fouled off a couple, so I believe she might have saw 7 to 8 pitches.
Right.
And it's a 2-2 count here, but I think she's seen 6. And I think this is pitch number 7 of the at-bat. Here's the 2-2. Alberson hits one right to the shortstop. And that is it. McAlester falls to 0-7 after a 9-3 loss to Glenpool here at home. We're going to go ahead and take our final break of the game. We'll come back, thank our sponsors, and we'll recap what we just watched or saw as well and called for you guys. Thanks for listening and watching. We'll be right back. You're listening to Lady Buffalo Softball on 98.3 KNED.
McAlester Clothing Consignment accepts consignments on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. All items must be gently used and in good shape. Please label all bags, boxes, or totes with the consignor's name. The limit on bags is 2 13-gallon bags per consignor per week. The consignment split is 50-50. Hey bargain shoppers, we have all types of clothing, toys, hand tools, jewelry, sports equipment, and more. McAlester Clothing Consignment, 1212 South Main in McAlester behind the Dollar General. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Sundays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
McAlester Softball and Volleyball is being sponsored by Consignment Exchange, and I've been doing commercials for them since I was 8 years old. Here's the connection. My great-grandfather and grandmother started the business over 50 years ago. Now my papa, Nana, and Aunt Cleora have continued. The idea was to give a place where folks could buy quality previously owned furniture, and now it's grown as a place where families who need to liquidate estates or simply have something they need to sell, Consignment Exchange is that place. At 9 years old, I came up with the tag of McAllister's favorite furniture store is Consignment, Highway 69 South, and it still is.
Hey guys, it's Sam from Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula. With 2 locations to choose from, we have close to 200 vehicles on the ground and coming in. And with vehicles starting at $29.95, we have something for everyone. And if you need parts or service, we are loading up at both locations to serve you better. Plus, with our mobile service van and our pickup and delivery, we can help you with sales and service no matter where you are. So come see us at Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford in McAlester and Eufaula and let us make it happen for you.
Welcome back to Mike Deak Field as McAlester falls to Glenpool 9-3 in the Lady Buffs. They fall to 0-7 on the season. We're going to go ahead and just kind of recap this really quickly. For McAlester, defensively, Shiley Mason got the start. She went the full 7 innings. She'll get the loss. She did have 2 strikeouts, though, and for McAlester offensively, they had 5 hits on the day, and it really was encapsulated in the 6th inning with back-to-back doubles. Had a ground rule double from Rylan Lesnow, and then Casey Woods, she stepped up and ripped off a double, and then Taylor Williams stepped up and she got a single, which is where 2 of McAllister's 3 runs came from. They scored a run back in the 1st inning as well, thanks to Avery Alberson getting a walk. Now, that'll do it for us today, but we will be back, I believe, Nate, next Tuesday, as McAlester softball will play host to Tahlequah. It'll be a 5 p.m. first pitch, barring some weather, but looking ahead, doesn't look like we're getting any rain next week. That could change. But we'll be right back here once again on KNED and on the YouTube stream. Nate, before we close things out here, anything you want to say about the game today?
Well, I mean, like we said, we saw some more strides today, and McAlester just needs to keep building off that, and we will see this team get better. I have 0 doubts about that.
I agree with you, and it's going to be exciting to watch. They've already gotten better since the first game that we've called together, and as you mentioned, I assume it's going to continue to just keep on building up here. So for Nate Brown and for Chase McNutt, myself, hope you guys enjoyed what we brought you tonight, and I hope you enjoyed the rest of your Thursday evening. Stay tuned for tomorrow, OU football right here with a kickoff at 6 p.m. against Temple, and we'll be back with McAlester football tomorrow night with a 6:45 pregame, 7:30 kick over K101. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday evening. We're going to send you now back to regular programming, and actually I will say also shout out to my man Wyatt back in studio who's been board hopping this whole thing as well. And, yes, sponsors as well, Nate. Thank you very much for pointing that out. Want to say thank you to Consignment Exchange, Sam Wampler's Freedom Ford, and McAlester Clothing Consignment. So enjoy the rest of your Thursday evening. We'll see you tomorrow.